Welcome to World of Monsters, Everything Monster. I'm your host, Monster Master Arthur, and today we're going to explore one of the greatest monster mysteries of the Bestiaries. What the difference is between a ghoul and a zombie. So let's start this exploration by giving you Monsterites a little hint of what they are, in case you've never heard of a ghoul or a zombie. Zombies being the walking dead that solely survive on feeding on the living, and ghouls being those that are alive, mostly feasting on the dead. So now that you have a better perspective of what we're going to be jumping into here, let's see what the pop culture kind of offers here, going through books, games, movies, and such. In the Blue Exorcist manga, zombies are demons that parasitize on human corpses. They're slow, aggressive, eat people, and very rarely are they capable of speaking. And you've probably heard this one before: destroy them by destroying the brain. Although ghouls now, on the other hand, are demons that possess human corpses, not parasitize. They don't talk, they're slow, they don't eat humans, but they are aggressive. In the Hellsing manga and anime, zombies are basically uncoordinated and mindless. But ghouls are zombies that are controlled by a vampire or master. In the Harry Potter universe, the inferi zombie is deadly, while the ghoul is somewhat harmless. In Magic the Gathering, zombies are a creature type actually, and the ghoul is of the zombie creature type. In Dungeons and Dragons, zombies are created via necromancy. They're slow, they're stupid, they deal little damage, and really they're only intimidating in larger groups. They're mostly just servants and lower tier guards to the necromancers. Ghouls, though, are created specifically by the death of a cannibal. They're fast, reasonably intelligent, have a paralytic toxin on their claws, and can be quite dangerous in packs. In the Warhammer universe, zombies are undead that are animated by the dark magic of vampires and necromancers. They kill and consume the living. Ghouls of the Warhammer universe are degenerated human descendants. They're cannibalistic, ugly, beastly, though they're capable of using simple weapons. Not truly undead, they are governed by the dark magic of their vampire leaders. So having a look at what those lore foundations have done with the terms ghoul and zombie, let's now break out the terms and traits and then take a look at the history as we know thus far of these creatures or entities. The traits that we're going to be looking at are those that originally rose with the conceptions before they started being altered and changed by popular culture. So zombies were known as being animated corpses. Nothing of feeding was mentioned. No feeding of brains originally or human corpses or humans. No, they had no decision-making skills, no will of their own, or no will for that matter. They're basically human or any animal undead. In more popular belief, zombies are driven by the urge to kill and or consume the living, or the brains of the living. Ghouls feed on corpses, roaming graveyards. They have simple decision and thought process ability. In some cases, even clever and crafty. They have a will of their own and are able to think for themselves. They're not human, or were transformed from human. They're viewed as demons or monsters. A category of their own? So how have I come to have this knowledge of the basis of ghouls and zombies? Well, let's take a look at their origins to find out really where they stem from. The term zombie comes from Haitian French zombie, from Haitian folklore, which was first recorded in English in 1819. A part of the victim's soul, usually that of a criminal or person that has been condemned, is captured, and after death is brought back to life by a bokor, a voodoo sorcerer by magical means. Here the zombies are freshly dead people, and therefore are more useful rather than rotting corpses, hence becoming slaves. Upon further research, it has been found that bokors use several toxic ingredients, among which is tetrodotoxin, which is 60 times more potent than cocaine as an anesthetic. When applied in ritual, these toxins cause the person's bodily functions to slow down, and the individual to become paralyzed, seemingly dead. They are then buried, to be later dug up and brought back to life as the poison wears off, hopefully leaving the person alive. It is also at this point that the zombie is fed a psychedelic known as zombie's cucumber possibly assisting in keeping the person in a dazed and confused state. And so as zombie lores have risen and progressed, so have their creation stories, ranging from dark magic to nuclear waste to viruses to biblical memes. Now let's take a look at the possibly even more faded origins of the ghoul. Now we travel north to the Middle East, to ancient Persia and Arabia. A ghoul, in Arabic al-ghul, meaning to seize, is a demon or monster originating in pre-Islamic Arabian religion and is associated with graveyards and consuming human flesh. In an old story, there is also mentioning of it being an eater of lost souls. In very ancient stories, ghouls are more shapeshifters rather than undead. They would shapeshift into various animals, notably the hyena, and lure people to feed on them. Ghouls were also known to find delight in feeding on young children, drinking blood, stealing coins, and feasting upon the dead, then taking the form of the person most recently eaten. The females, known as ghoulah, would lure men and feed on them, alluding to the idea that ghouls may in fact be a monster type of their own. And so how do they come into creation? Ghouls are monsters that are summoned or created by black magic, such as an example of sinful people being cursed and denied access to paradise upon death, or through some other demonic means. Therefore, after delving into this brief history of ghoul lore, it does make sense that we have this phrase of ghouls and goblins rather than ghouls and zombies, as there is not that much mentioning of ghouls actually being undead. Now, before we hit upon the conclusion of this topic of ghouls and zombies, let's take a look at a couple more interesting facts on our tainted, smelly friends. The zombies of the movie Night of the Living Dead were actually largely based on vampires. George Romero was greatly influenced by the book I Am Legend. Speaking of vampires, we also have the Revenant to consider, as they are reanimated corpses that retain memory or intelligence in order to carry out a certain duty that they failed to in life, or to avenge their own death or that of another. Speaking of that, we also have the Mummy, an undead in bandages, skeletons, just a skeleton of a reanimated dead person, liches, the Wendigo. But let's leave that for yet another video. Let's take a quick look at some interesting facts on ghouls. Actually, looking deeper on the term of ghoul, I found that many languages don't even have a word for it. The term ghoul was first used in English literature in 1786 within William Beckford's Oriental novel, Vathek, which describes the ghoul of Arabian folklore. And the oldest book to mention ghouls is 1001 Nights, where it is believed that ghouls were once humans that were transformed. They are said to have animal or childlike intelligence. So even though zombies and ghouls, just like werewolves and vampires, have been changed so much from popular culture, from movies, from stories, we can still retain specifications or some added specifications for you guys, for you monster creators out there to play with in making your own lores that pertain to your own ghouls and zombies within your stories, games, or whatever your creations are. So here are our definitions of these two creatures and exactly how they differ. Zombie. Undead. Mindless corpse that may or may not feed on brains and or flesh of the living and or the dead. The ghoul. Undead or not. Usually not. Feeds on the dead, hence it's usually found in graveyards. A monster or demon, or a monster that used to be human. Zombie, reanimated corpse. Ghoul, living corpse? Thank you, Monsterites, our viewers of World of Monsters, for watching. Do let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you have anything to add, or if we got something wrong in the comments down below. Click one of those disembodied hands to let us know if you liked or disliked the video, and most important of all, click that bell down below to be notified of our next Monstrous video, and we'll be sure to keep it monster related so that we don't clutter your favorite content out there. Also, if you want to be part of our Monsterhood officially, then do join our Monsterhood over on Discord. Until next time.